Hi, this is Lucy McCall of Avala Mason Miracles. This is As Above, So Below, talking to you about the astrology between October 25th and November 1st, 2024. And here we go. I'll talk at the end a little bit about herbs and things like that. Okay, so this week is very much like an applying grand trine, an applying grand water trine. And the sun, let's see, the Mars Mercury part is slow to come. Next week it'll be more exact. But the Mars Neptune and the Neptune Mercury are very close. So this means that we're having a good understanding, a lot of clarity emotionally about our positions in life, wherever we're at. It's also a very good time because of the ongoing Mars and Cancer to do your very powerful domestic goddess thing, whatever that may. It could be a God thing too, but the just taking care of the home and the food, which appropriate for this time of year. So we're lucky we have Mars and Cancer right now. Retrograding, that part's difficult because it does mean it is applying to a opposition on Pluto, which will be very close on voting day. So just a little pre-information about that. It's almost like no matter what happens on the voting day, no matter who wins, there's going to be a lot of conflict. But I'm not telling you all anything new. You all can probably feel that there's going to be a lot of conflict, but kind of pretty more open conflict than we might have had over the last couple of centuries with voting. So just be ready for that. Voting early might be good for most of us, just because we don't know what the energy is going to be like that day. Well, actually, it's going to be a tough, energetic day. Actually, that day. So you might as well prepare for it, which would be early voting. But besides that going on, we've also got a Chiron sextile Jupiter. And this is pretty much all through November. But right now, this week, that Chiron sextile Jupiter is also in a quincunx to Mercury on both sides, making a yod. So Mercury at the single point and in Scorpio, and the Jupiter and Gemini and the Chiron and Aries making this yod. Okay, well, with the background energy and kind of lasting energy of about 6 weeks of Jupiter sextile Chiron, that has a lot to do with people getting a little more conscious, or hopefully very more conscious, about health and what is necessary for the healing in our planet, with us individuals who need a better environment, and not so polluted environment, more cleaning up of the environment, more consciousness about it. And with it both going into Mercury like that, to me, this seems like this week there should be some communication more about what is, or just hearing things on the news about what needs to be done to make our situation better with our earth healing, like the whole earth being in a better state, which means we would be in a better state. So that's a really good aspect, that Chiron sextile Jupiter, I think. And then over the next month after that, I'm still feeling like we will have some good understanding about what to be doing about it. There's also Mercury opposing Uranus this week, which has a lot to do with very erratic thoughts and beliefs and feelings going on. A lot of new ideas. It's very eccentric. There might be a feeling of hurry up, but try not to hurry so fast that you have accidents, because Uranus tends to bring accidents. It's rare that I've ever seen an accident chart where Uranus was involved. Usually it is. And so you just want to, when Uranus is being activated, you want to not do the inclination to go too fast with power tools and cars and stuff. another great aspect that we have is the Mercury trine Neptune. Um, oh yeah, and that's already in the Grand Trine I was talking about. So Mercury trine Neptune, though, just by itself, and on the day it happens, is very good for whimsical ideas, fantastic dreams, fantasies to the max, even creating a real fantasy for yourself or people around you. It'd be a very fun day. I think this week would be a fun time to be creating Halloween, to making Halloween parties for children, especially. Doing things that are just fantastic and whimsical for the kids and for everybody else around, maybe. But especially kids, they're so receptive to it. And then Mars trine Neptune is interesting because it shows a lot of energy. It shows a lot of spiritual energy. Mars trine Neptune is like people being very active and energetic about their spiritual ways and beliefs. So that's kind of fun. It could also be you might end up around a few proselytizers, though. I don't usually enjoy that too much, but at least it's a trine. So it might be a good exchange of communication. So this kind of week, a yod, almost a grand trine, and then we have a Venus square Saturn, which if you weren't feeling serious enough, this will help. You will feel more serious, especially when it comes to relationships and also about your arts, any of your artistic things you might be doing. It's the kind of week where Venus square Saturn can make you feel like you're just not, your whatever you're creating is not good enough, and you have to watch not over editing kind of, or overdoing it, or overworking your piece. So if you feel like doing that, you might wait a week and then reflect on it again so you don't mess it up from just kind of insecurity. Venus square Saturn can also make people kind of insecure about relationships, not sure if they're giving enough or the person they're involved with is giving enough, and that kind of love thing. Yep, so that's really mostly this week what's going on, except that we are having Halloween, and that is Thursday night. And that whole period of time, starting usually on Thursday night, the October 31st is the Celtic date for that, honoring ancestors. That's when it starts for them. And as me being mostly of the Celtic lineage, I find that I spiritually am more connected on that night. Then there's the other few days that happen, going up to Dia de las Muertas and all that. And then actually we have the solar Samhain, or midpoint between fall equinox and winter, happening really on the 6th, on the day of elections. So that's pretty powerful. And over the years I have noticed the government tends to follow sacred days whether they know it or not. I've often thought it was a good time for the ancestors to come, who can maybe see better of what's going on our planet, to come and influence their descendants in dreams about who to vote for. So let's hope they do that. And let's hope they're peaceful types. And we also, on Halloween, the ancestral time, it is really important to honor the ancestors this time. I do it for about a week. I haven't gotten an altar together yet, but I will. And it's just good to honor the people that have come before us, and be grateful to them for what they have given us in knowledge. And even if we want to change what some of their things are that they did, like I feel that a lot about the environmental things that were created since the Industrial Revolution. It was good and bad. Everything is that way, though, I guess. But the part where we have to step up and change the environmental influences and make it more sustainable and all that. And it's a complex situation. We know that. So anyway, there's all of that going on, and I think that's really what I have to say about. Oh yeah, the new moon is on November 1st, which is also considered All Saints Day. And so oftentimes they say the day after Halloween is All Saints Day, and then the day after that is All Souls Day. So that's also honoring the saints. And that's what people would do, is they dress up for the saints. And that's kind of where Halloween came from, is people dressing up like saints and then dressing up like ancestors, that whole idea. And then I love what they do in, Latin America, and we do it up here too, of dressing like a very colorful skeleton. So that's always fun. So enjoy this season. It's really healing to us to be honoring that. And as we're going into the cold time, to have one big bash. Even though we should have another bash on winter solstice, just to return for the honoring of the returning of the light. And really, Halloween is the first day of winter in the Celtic tradition, which makes sense to me. And they say pretty much after Halloween, we're not supposed to eat the food in the field, so it's important to get your everything in, and that we're supposed to leave everything to the fairies. That's also to the ancestors. So there we are. Okay, yeah, so what I thought I'd talk about this week is there's a lot of Mercury aspects, trines and yod and opposition. So what do we do about Mercury? Mercury is our mind, but also Mercury is the nervous system. And, well, same thing, nervous system, the brain, the nervous system. But it's only in pretty modern recent times, it seems, that we started talking about the vagus nerve as very important. But the ancients used to say that we think with our stomach. And that doesn't mean that we think with our hunger necessarily all the time, but it means that a lot of our true information comes through that vagus nerve that is going through the stomach area. So that nerve, a lot of the herbs for the digestion are Mercury ruled, and they are dill and fennel and carrot. The whole carrot family is considered that. Unfortunately, hemlock is part of the Mercury family. You don't want to include that in your food at all, right? It doesn't take much to make you very sick with a hemlock. But the other thing is what other plants? All the mint family. Yes, did I say that? All the mint family is also generally considered mostly mercurial. So all of those are very good for the digestion and also good for clearing the mind. Because sometimes what it means is that we need to take a deep belly breath down to really relax that mercurial part of ourselves, that stressed out place. And that deep breath helps a lot. And also mercurial plants are also part of the lungs and the respiratory system. So the breath, again, in mercurial is considered air. And so some of the mercurial plants for the lungs, well, actually, mullein is one of my favorite, but it's actually Saturn ruled. I think it's because, well, it's also good for bones, so that's why. But anyway, just good old, offhand, I can't think of it anymore. I know they're in there somewhere. But mercurial plants. And also Halloween. Of course, I think I already talked about how the pumpkin, actually, that whole idea of carving a pumpkin actually came from carving turnips in Europe. People carved turnips and put candles in them on Halloween to honor the ancestors. And now we do pumpkins in this land, or squashes, but they are native to the North America, and South America some. So it's still a really good thing to do. I love doing it. Okay, I think that's about all I have to say, except that I also do a YouTube channel, Lucy McCall, As Above, So Below. And I generally get it on every week. And also every Friday at 4 p.m. you get a more detailed astrology week from me on KNCE 93.5 FM, Taos, New Mexico, at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Friday. So that's another thing. And also, I'd really appreciate if you would like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. that helps everybody who is doing a YouTube channel for you to like and subscribe their channel always. So if you listen to us, please do that. And I think, is there anything else I was supposed to say? Do you remember?
Do you have a radio show?
Oh, yeah, that's the radio show at KNCE. Already talked about that. But oh yes, I do readings. You can contact me on Facebook, Lucy McCall. I'm the one in Taos, not the one in Cuesta. Her name is Lou McCall. Um, and just, message me a little message if you would like a reading. And also, I sell herbs in Taos. I sell them at my house, and they're inexpensive. They're $8 an ounce, or if you do 2 ounces, it's 14, and then if it's 4 ounces, it's 24. So it goes down $1 each bottle size per ounce. So there you have it. I hope you have a good week. Happy Halloween, Samhain, Dia de las Muertes, all the things. Many blessings.